Okay, so let's take a quick pulse of everyone and help me understand how today can be the absolute best hour ever, right? What format would you like to see that you would get the most out of, most practice, get some ideas for scripts, or get some opportunity to role play? Got a ton of different directions we can take this. Who wants to start?
I'm not looking at the schedule. It's contracts today, right?
No, so today is sharpen your skills with scripts and dialogues.
Okay.
We are doing a contracts class on Wednesday from 2 to 3:30.
Okay.
And there's also a handful of contracts classes that have been recorded in YouTube. So if you are in need of something specific, obviously you can let us know and we can just deal with your specific situation, or you can go back to watch one of those videos.
Okay.
Okay, so today the goal is to help you leave this room in 1 hour with either more confidence, more ideas on how to speak to somebody or get into that dialogue. That's basically the goal. What is your goal?
Being more comfortable with scripts. What I've been doing is taking some FSBO scripts and expired scripts, and I've looked at maybe about 4 or 5, and I've kind of been trying to tailor them to something that I'm comfortable with, that just rolls off my tongue like water. Not all the way there, but work in progress.
Okay, can I share a possible concern with you?
Yes.
Okay. Pretty much every script is written to appeal to all different types of personality profiles. So for example, there is a script like a listing presentation script that when you're at the door, rather than you just knocking on the door and they open the door and you say, hey, and you go on right in, you say something to the effect of, it's 4 o'clock and I'm here for our 4 o'clock meeting, right? So what does that do? That appeals to the person that doesn't like their time wasted, that wants a punctual agent, right? And subconsciously what it does is if they're interviewing other agents, they might say, well, I guess the other guy was 3 or 4 minutes late, right? Or I wonder if he was 3 or 4 minutes late. And immediately the brain tells them that they were, even though they may have been on time. You're the one that pointed it out. See what I'm saying? Okay. So that appeals, and you might say, it seems a little strange. Why do they even have that in there? I'll just skip it. Well, if you skip it, you lost an opportunity to build rapport. So I'm going to challenge you as much as possible. Just say it the way it's supposed to be said. Because the more you edit it, the more you could be missing out on an opportunity to build rapport with a different type of personality profile. Here, I'll give you another example. There's a line in the listing appointment, same listing appointment, that says something to the effect of, we will decide today one of 3 things. Either we will decide to work together, right, to sell your home, or we will work to, let me think about this. We're going to decide today whether we're going to work together. We could potentially also decide on what price it will take to be successful in selling your home. And another option today is that we will decide that I will not take your listing. And you're like, well, I don't want to say that. Well, that appeals to a different type of personality, which is the I personality. The first one was the D personality. They want things done quick. They want people not to waste their time, right? The I type of personality wants to be liked, right? So if you allude to there might be a possibility that you might not like that person, or you may choose not to work with that person, then they say, why wouldn't you want to work with me? To which you would say, hey, you're expecting me to spend money on marketing that I will not help you sell your home, or you want to market your home at a price that I know will not cause it to sell. So those are a couple of examples of why I might not choose to work with you. Would that be reasonable? And they say, well, yeah. Why would I ever want to price the home beyond what I think it could sell for? Or why would I, want you to buy newspaper ads when I know that doesn't work? And all of a sudden you've got them on your team now. You follow that?
It makes sense. I guess I just have to get comfortable with being that super, super direct. I like
Okay,
it. Like it sounds
why
great
don't
for
we,
you.
let's play it right now. Well, it only sounds good for me because I've said it 3,000 times. Okay. All right. Give me an example of a script that you tweaked because you didn't feel comfortable saying it.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. While she's looking for that, please, everyone else that's on the call, share with me, is there a particular script you'd like me to work on today with you? Is there a particular way that you'd like us to use the next 50 minutes? Walk me through how can I make today just fantastic for you? Kim, it looks like you're trying to talk, but I don't hear anything. Okay, who else? All right, Jenny Vereen, this is Scripts and Dialogues.
Yes, sir.
What type of scripts or dialogues would you like to learn more about today?
Let me think about it for a second.
Okay, Jonathan, you too.
Yeah, I got a question or a script. For expires and FSBOs, have you altered like a closing for the COVID? Because COVID's going on now, and how you are actually doing the appointment instead of doing, come to the house, stop by, maybe just a Zoom call. How are you closing that out?
Yeah, good question. Good question. So are you? This is essentially after you both have determined that the natural next step is to meet or to speak in more of a professional setting, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're on a call and you're trying to close and get the appointment, how are you varying it from before when you're trying to get the appointment to stop by the house, whereas now you are doing the Zoom call? Do you still do the pre-qualify over the phone, kind of the same way?
Oh, for sure, pre-qualification over the phone, for sure. What I would, and then you're probably going to go over that when you're in person or when you're on Zoom. So there's one line that's going to kind of take it from we're just kind of flirting with each other to, hey, this is a business. We're here for business. There's a purpose to this call. Let's see if there's a chance we can close, which is, sounds like we should meet. Right? Sounds like we should meet. I don't honestly care what the hell they say. They could say the sky is blue and you say, hey, sounds like we should meet. Right?
Right.
It's raining outside. Sounds like we should meet. Let's just get straight to the point. Are you willing to meet with me? Yes or no? Right? Because when you meet with me and you see how my energy and you see how excited I am to help you and you see that I'm a smart person and that I'm a hard worker and I'm a person of integrity, you're going to want to work with me. There's no doubt in my mind. So as soon as I can get in front of you, the better. So I might say something to the effect of, Jonathan, so Jonathan, it sounds like we should meet. And then you might say, yeah, not a bad idea. Say, is there a technology that you feel most comfortable with? I've got some clients that are comfortable meeting in person, and we can, have masks on and socially distance, and I can come and take some notes about your house. We can do whatever makes you feel most comfortable. Or I have a private Zoom room, or we can do FaceTime, or we can do WhatsApp, or we can do Google Meet, or we can do Skype, or we can do carrier pigeon. I don't give a damn. Which type of technology do you prefer? Right? That's kind of like saying, would you rather meet at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock?
Okay.
I didn't say, are you willing to meet in person or on technology? I personally would prefer to meet in technology, quite frankly. Right?
Right.
Every time I wake up, I hear of another person that I interacted with that has COVID or that likely has COVID. So I'm not like running out of my seat to go meet people in person right now. Okay. But I would say, what type of technology are you most comfortable with? Would you prefer WhatsApp, or would you prefer Facebook chat, or would you prefer Zoom? I can simply send you a Google invite. By the way, if you don't have their address, a Google invite is a great way to get their address, or I'm sorry, their email address, right? I'll just email you a link, just click right on it, right? Get their email address. You say, what type of technology do you best prefer? Do you most prefer? Right? Because they're going to need to get adjusted to technology because they're going to have to sign stuff, right? Do you is that something you've used before, Jonathan, or do you find
Zoom?
any issue with that?
No, I don't have a problem with Zoom or whatever.
Okay. By the way, I've said this 100 times. If you guys don't have a personal Zoom account, it's kind of like you not having internet connection. Like it's a must. It's a must. Okay. Zoom is free. Okay. Zoom is free.
Like on the scripts that I've been looking at, sometimes with some of them, it'll say things like, being that I'm an expert in this area, or something of that nature. To me, kind of being a new area, a new agent, the reason that I'm not comfortable with that is because if they follow up with another question to where they're asking me how, it's kind of like dead air because I don't believe fully in myself because I haven't experienced that. So that's the only reason.
So rather than saying that's a good point. I'm glad that you worked through with me that nuance, because it's not that you have a problem saying things that are written on the piece of paper. It sounds like you have a problem that to kind of fudge the truth if you actually aren't an expert. So rather than saying, I specialize in homes that don't sell the first time, you can say, I love helping people whose homes didn't sell the first time.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
I can do that. Okay.
Don't lie. None of us are expecting you to lie or encouraging you to lie. If it says I'm an expert in something and you don't find yourself to be an expert, then just say, hey, I love helping people whose houses didn't sell the first time. Oftentimes it's just a small adjustment in either the marketing or the price or the presentation or the pictures. And together we can figure out exactly what that was, and we can go on and be successful together.
That which is perfect.
So you're using that we language right off the bat.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, Kim, was there a specific script that you wanted to work on with expireds, or that you wanted to talk a little bit more about? Maybe leave and come right back. Sometimes that helps. Ebony, does that talk to me? Was that helpful? Do you want to go into a little bit more detail? Do you want to role play that?
Sure, it was very helpful because, and that was the only hiccup of the reason why I've kind of tailored scripts to my own, because just going through a lot of different ones, it was always, I saw that word specialized, expert. I know this area and I may not know that area that someone's in. And at that moment, my anxiety was just like, oh my God, if you get somebody on the phone, it says Atlanta address. You don't know Atlanta, you don't know Fulton. So in order to get my anxiety down, it's just like, okay, let me reword this to whereas if they do ask another question, I can just flow. And I hadn't been able to flow, so that made it hard for me with the scripts.
Well, they're not going to say to you, okay, Ebony, right now I need to know what is the average days on the market in 30029. If you can't answer me correctly in the next 20 seconds, you're fired. I remember one of my very first listing appointments I went on. This guy, he had this like little spreadsheet that was like something I probably would have created. That's probably why it irritated me. And what ended up happening is he had a sheet that was like, he wanted me to fill out this thing that was like client name, date you went on the meeting, date you accepted the contract, that you listed the home, what the price was, what your average list price to sale, or what the list price to sales price ratio is, how many days you went on the market, or how many days you were on the market, and like 3 or 4 other stats about every listing that I ever took. And I looked at that and I'm like, well, damn, if he wants me to fill that out, I definitely am not getting the job. Right. And I said to him, and I just straight up looked at him. I looked at it, he handed it to me. He says, I want you to fill this out. I said, look, if you're going to hire me based on how I fill this thing out, it's not going to be a match. But what I will tell you is there's not going to be anyone that cares more about selling your home than me, including you. Okay. And I will go to incredible depths to make sure I price this home correctly. And I will go through incredible depths to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. I did not get the listing, but he did price it wrong, and it sold for exactly the number of dollars I told him it would sell for. Right. So here's the thing: if they're going to be rude or jerk or impolite with you, whatever. You didn't get the business anyway. You're never going to even know who it was. Like literally, you could be in the grocery line with him 30 minutes from then, and you guys wouldn't even know that you had talked on the phone. Right? These people don't even know who you are, and you don't. It doesn't even matter.
Ebony, if I were you, I was just like you. I was the same way. I felt like the scripts weren't natural to me, and so I had a hard time. Like I would fumble over them and things like that. But when I started doing scripts practice with other people, and I was terrible at it, terrible. And they would criticize me, and I would just say, okay, I need to learn that. I'll try harder, and I would try and keep practicing. Now it just comes so natural.
That's right.
And I did change it like to kind of fit the way I talk, but I'm happy to do scripts practice with you if you want to, because I need a partner right now.
Oh my God, I would love it.
There you go.
I would absolutely
Beautiful.
love it, because I'm the same way. I'm like, look, I am me. Like sometimes I'm not going to articulate things the way that other people do it, but at the end of the day, my heart and I give it 100%. Like I've never left anything undone, so I know that I can do the job. Like regardless
I can
of what I
tell.
sound
I
like.
can tell.
But
I can tell. Yeah.
thank you. So I would
We'll
love.
practice.
I'm gonna send you my information, my phone number, and everything. I would love to do it.
Okay, let's do that. We'll practice. We'll set up a time and we'll hold each other accountable. We'll try.
Okay.
I love that. I love that.
Yay.
Thank you both for being willing to do that. This is another form of an accountability relationship, and I almost feel like I'm like the what's the word I want? Like the officiant of like a wedding or something, right? It's like y'all have now entered into a relationship, and I want to speak to you very clearly, Ebony. Okay, listen to me. Jenny is counting on you. Okay.
No pressure.
The success of her, I'm coming around to you too. Don't worry. The success of Jenny's relationship and her skill development with her clients depends in part on you. And all you need to do in order to be an awesome accountability partner is just show up and take it seriously. Okay?
I can do
Jenny,
that. I can do that.
same thing. Ebony's growth and confidence and skill development, she's counting on you. Please, if you don't not show up, take it seriously.
Oh, I will. I will definitely show up, and I'm so grateful. Yeah.
So if you feel that like it's not meeting your needs, or maybe it needs to be less often or more often or at a different time, just talk to each other.
We'll figure it out. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
I say that because I've probably had 400 accountability partners in my career, right? And eventually they peter out. So I want to make sure.
The good news is that if you get really good at scripts, then you have more clients and less time, and that's a good thing, right?
Well, you don't have less time because you're being strategic on how you grow, and the very last thing you give up is the lead gen.
Good point.
So when you say you have less time, yeah, I got less time for administrative stuff. That's why I hired somebody to deal with that. But my best use of my time is sitting here practicing with you, so I don't have to practice on my buyers and sellers.
Another thing you taught me, Bill, was that I'm going to be using some sort of script. I mean, it might be my own, where I'm off in the ditch, like blabbering around something I don't even know. And I'm thinking about what I'm going to say and not listening. And that like helped me so much, because when I thought about that, I was like, he's right. I'm just going to be running that mouth instead of, listening or whatever. And so
Right.
that's when I really started working.
You really need to be aware that the vast majority of the people that you're speaking to are not interested in a new friend. They have a problem and they want somebody to get their problem to go away. Okay. I'm not saying you can't be friendly. I'm not saying you can't ask questions about people's lives and help them and be empathetic and all that. I'm just suggesting that they kind of just want their problem to go away. And so you need to make sure that you are seen as the way that that's going to happen as efficiently as possible. So Kim, was there a specific expired script that you wanted to practice or that you wanted to speak about? Same issue still. Okay, you got to get this fixed. Good thing I'm not a seller. No, that's still not working. Okay, we'll come back to you. Heather, I know you're driving. If you have a stop, just tell us what you're wanting to learn about today.
I actually had a quick question. When we're doing communication via text or like running a campaign through command, I was looking at a bunch of the different text scripts. Since it is technically in writing, if I like basically just verbatim put that in, is that plagiarism or is it okay because I'm following the script?
I mean, we're giving you the script so that you can plagiarize it.
Okay, I just want to make sure that it was okay to put it exactly how it says it.
Yes, please do. Please do. It's a good question. Yes, I've always, you want to, there's so many of these like mass texting systems right now that you don't want the message to sound like they're just basically pasting it to 1,500 people all at once, right? So I've always said like, hi, Kim, comma, then the message, right? Something that is individualized, personalized.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. By the way, texting is great to get a short point across. I'll see you at 3. Yes, I got your message about the new home you want to see. Let's meet there. Right. Yes, I'll have over the contract to you in 3 minutes. Right. Texting is really bad for the appraisal just came in low. How would you like to address this? That is when you get on the telephone. You need to hear their voice. The vast majority of the time, as crazy as it sounds, when I'm in heated negotiations with somebody, more often than not, I mean, let me rephrase that. Almost all the time, I will purposefully not take the call so that I can hear how they want to communicate with me. Right? So let's say Kim is, let's say Kim is the other agent in a transaction and we have a little hiccup that we've got to resolve, right? And I want to hear how, like, her energy around it. I'm just going to let her say it over the phone, over the voicemail. Because
that's great advice.
Because oftentimes, like, I'm not trying to brag here, but I'm usually pretty good at figuring out somebody's energy, right? And if I can hear that she thinks that whatever this issue is not a big deal, then I might address it a certain way. If she's communicating that it is a really big deal, then I might communicate my approach a slightly different way. See what I'm saying? So if I just answer the phone, hey, this is Bill, I don't have enough time to react and prep properly. I want to hear how they are dealing with it. And more often than not, by the way, they're just like, yeah, I got your email. It's like, shit, can't you just tell me you got the email by text? Like, why you got to call me for that? Like, half the time I get somebody's message and I just text them back, say, I got the message, thank you. You see what I'm saying?
That's great advice. I hadn't thought about that. That's really good advice.
That
And
makes
also,
so
it
much
allows
sense.
it also allows me to stay in control of my time. Because the vast majority of the time, it's hard to know if this new interruption is going to be resolved in 2 minutes or 32 minutes. And I'm so calendared that I don't have, like, many times I can't afford, like, I thought this was going to be 2 minutes and it turns into 32 minutes. Like, it's like, dude, you want to talk to me for more than 20 minutes? We need to put it on the calendar. Right? And quite frankly, that's the way y'all should be also. You should be so hyperly scheduled that you can't let something like that take over your whole day, much less what it actually does to you from an emotional standpoint. Like, if it's going to ruin your day, I don't want to deal with that until I'm done doing the things I need to do today. By the way, hyper scheduling does not mean just real estate.
Or success too, though. It doesn't mean success either.
Right. It means the things that are critical to you, right? If going to the gym is critical to you, then you should be hyper scheduled around going to the gym. If picking up your kid from school or taking your kid to the ice cream shop or, going to a movie with your spouse, if that's something that's critical to you, get it on the schedule and don't let anything interrupt it.
So do you wait till you're at a point to where you're really busy? Because to be honest,
Oh, wait,
like if somebody calls me, I am at
start
everybody's
over.
mercy
Ebony,
right now.
Hold on. You broke up. Say that one more time, please.
Okay, so do you wait until, like, I use my calendar, I can do a lot better with it, but if somebody were to call me right now, whatever that need is going to take precedence because I feel like, a starving artist. Like, I need to give you my best performance. So I just don't feel like I'm at a point to whereas I can say no to anybody. Like, literally the last day I haven't done anything. I have not had a day off. I don't know, long time, which is fine, because it's going to help me grow. But I'm at the mercy of everybody to where I feel that I'm at a point of where I should be. I feel like I shouldn't be obligated to have a day off, or obligated to say, oh, I have this is on my schedule. Yes, I want a time block from 10 to 11, to do Legion. So I can't take whatever it is that you need. Like, I always stop and do whatever anybody needs. That's going to take precedence over me. And then I just follow up and finish everything else out later.
Are you open to a response to that?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
You need to quit that. You got to quit that.
You want to be an architect, not a firefighter.
Right. So let them go to voicemail, and then you can determine in 3 seconds how bad the fire is. And virtually never is the fire so bad that you have to drop everything you're doing to deal with it. Almost never. So here's the deal. When you are constantly, first of all, you need to rest. Okay? Hear me loud and clear. First thing that goes on the calendar is downtime. Not work, off time. Okay?
I mean, I hear you. I really
Then
do.
just hear me.
Okay.
Just hear me. Because that is critical. Okay? And by the way, if you're working on like a project or several projects, and then there's a call that comes in that's actually a fourth project, and you go and tend to that, because these topics here have been unresolved, you're not going to be focused here anyway. So you think you're giving this guy your best, you're actually not. You'll give that guy the best when you can take the next 10 minutes to resolve all this and then fully focus on this guy. You just got to trust me on that.
Well, the question is, are you giving that guy your time or your best? Because you can make your
gosh.
Mhm.
Jenny,
Mhm.
that is freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
Are you giving him your time or your best? Because you could quantify, you could make your best be in a very short amount of time and then be done.
Wow.
Man, that is some
powerful.
deep stuff there. I'm going to have to be thinking about that tonight. That is so good.
Well,
You're
you get
only
you get the busy syndrome, Ebony. You don't want to get that. That's where you think that your success is commensurate to the amount of time that you work. And that sounds, I know that sounds counterintuitive, but you want to be effective when you work, not busy. busy doesn't make you important, and it doesn't make you successful.
You're
Right. There's a
absolutely
difference
right.
between
Thank
busy
you.
and productive. Right.
Yeah, productive. Yeah,
Have you guys
and
read the?
I'm guilty of this. This is why I know this well, because I'm so guilty of it. I'll sit down at the computer all day and get nowhere and hadn't done anything, and I could be at Walmart or at Belk's or something talking to people and getting clients. Instead, I'm sitting at home trying to work on something silly.
Well, have you guys ever read The One Thing?
Yes,
No, I haven't. Let me.
Ebony,
I listened to
Nope.
it.
now, seriously, now, go get that book.
Okay.
Okay, you can listen to it on YouTube for free. You can also listen to the One Thing podcast. There's hundreds of episodes. It's phenomenal. There is a there is a idea that, have you ever I know this is not quite on topic, but I'm just going to spend a moment doing it. Okay, let's say that we're going to do a small task. Okay, we're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Okay. If I timed you doing this row and then this row, it would be that's one idea. The second idea is you go 1, A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, D, and you timed that. Which one do you think would be faster?
The second one.
No.
Well, I think it's more organized. And I think if I did the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, maybe I'm rushing through that to get to the end, opposed to the way that my mind is processing it. 1 and A, they align together.
I know, but you don't count 1A, 2B, 3C. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So I would be willing to bet maybe next time it's just the two of us, we can do a little experiment. But our mind has said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, way more times in that order than 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D. You're distracting yourself, right? And therefore, when you go and work on 5 minutes here on this project, 3 minutes here on this project, 2 minutes here on this project, and then you go to an appointment, your brain feels so unfocused and you don't have any accomplishment, right? That's why your brain needs a little bit of oxytocin to say, okay, I finished that project, I moved it out of the way, I'll resume that in 3 days, right? I mean, do you ever put something on your to-do list just because you did it and it wasn't there, but you want to write it on there so that you can check it off?
I do.
How crazy is that? Seriously, that is one of the most ridiculous things ever, yet we all do it.
Well, it still counts.
It does, and it's accomplished.
So your brain is seeking that. Give your brain what it wants.
Oh,
which
that's
is
a good idea. Yeah, that's great.
Right, which is identifying an issue and resolving the issue. Right? So, Ebony, let's do an experiment today. Okay? Don't answer your phone.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh Lord.
Just let the phone ring.
Oh my God.
Listen to the message and call them right back. Just don't answer the phone. Let's see how it goes, okay?
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that there'll be anyone that calls you, leaves a voicemail, and within the 3 minutes it takes for that voicemail to go into your thing and you listen to it, they're going to go sign a contract with a different realtor?
No.
Okay, then do what I'm suggesting. Let's see how it feels, okay?
Okay, I can do that.
And also, Ebony, you're so sweet that people that know you, your clients, people that know you, they know you're working your hardest and you'll get right back with them. You can recognize your worth and be like, okay, not conceited, but be like, okay, I'm important. I have several things going on. And when I get a chance, I'll get back to them.
Well, think about it this way. Pretty much every other professional you might call, okay, your doctor, your CPA, the painter, your accountant, insurance guy, all these people, you leave a message and they call you back whenever they get around to it, right? And they know that the thing is a little bit more time sensitive or critical, or they sense in your voice or your attitude or your demeanor that it's more of an emergency, then you're likely to get called back a little early. If I call my insurance guy, say, hey, John, I got a quick question for you. Just give me a ring when you get a second. I pretty much go to the bottom of the list. And I get it, because that's where I should be. But if I call him and I say, dude, I need to hear from you before lunchtime today. I got something really important to talk to you about.
Mhm.
Then I should be at the top of the list. And so we always have to redetermine what our priority of the day is. Let me give you a clue. If the message came in by email, it ain't a priority.
Well, the other thing is you're setting up habits for the way
Yeah, exactly.
that you're going to have, like you're going to host your business or whatever. And if you go ahead and just have yourself very calm and, you know, you behave in that way now, because you're going to be super successful. I can already tell. And whenever you are, you'll handle it that way. You know, you'll be able to say, just have those scripts rehearsed. Like, yes, if it's okay, I have some calls this morning. Would it be all right if I call you back after lunch, you know, or something?
Okay.
Right.
They don't know
Or let the message go and just say, hey, just finishing up an appointment. I'll call you in 20 minutes. The appointment may be, I'm sitting with my coach. Or the
Or my
appointment might
dog.
be, I'm studying the market. Or the appointment might be, I'm going to the bathroom. Or the appointment might be, I'm walking my dog, right? Or the appointment might be, I'm really tired and I'm going to go take a nap. And I'll call you back in a few minutes. You see what I'm saying? They don't know your every detail, nor is it any of their business. You have to constantly be saying to yourself, am I in a position to give my best to this person?
Yeah, you don't want your brain to get like anxiety every time the phone rings or every time something happens. And I'm still do that, but you want to be like, okay, I'll get back to him in a minute. It's all right. Everything's going to be okay.
Yes. All right, Ebony, your challenge for today. All you got to do is do it for like 3 more hours, okay?
All right, I can do it.
You're going to let the phone go to voicemail. You're going to listen to the voicemail, and then you're going to call them back.
Okay.
Okay. Tomorrow we'll ask you to wait 5 minutes. The next day we're going to teach you how to wait 10 minutes. Okay. There are very few emergencies in this business.
If you could see my face right now.
We are on a video chat.
I know. Look, my husband gave me pink eye. I got a lot going on. So I don't want to show myself right now.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about some more scripts. Who wants to talk about some scripts?
I have a script question.
All right, go ahead.
Can I say that, or do I need to let somebody else talk for a second?
No, you're up. We teach people to be aggressive. So you're the most aggressive. You get what you want.
I am aggressive, but listen, my challenge is this. So I had an appraisal that did not come in where I wanted it to. And so I'm emailing back and forth with the lender, the seller's agent, the buyer's agent, all that kind of mess. But they're all emailing me back. And so they're all just like, everybody's just just bouncing back to me, all these conversations. And so I need to have a conversation on the phone with them where I make everybody have talk instead of just like sending 5 emails to 5 people and responding and all that. So what kind of script would I say if I need to address something? He's like, let's just get this done. He's like emailing me, let's do this. And I need to have a conversation where I say.
So you gotta go back to the person you need to influence first. So you're the listing agent or you're the buyer's agent?
I'm the listing agent.
Okay, and now the buyer came back and said, we got a low appraisal.
Yes.
Through their buyer's agent.
Yes.
How low?
$5,500 low.
Okay, and what have they done so far? They have submitted an amendment to reduce the price by $5,500?
No, we're talking it out. Because I said that's not going to work. That's not going to work. We need to have the appraisal. We need to have a talk about that. But nobody will talk to me. So they're emailing me. So they sent the appraiser a letter or whatever. Let's have it reviewed. And they came back 4,000 under.
Okay, great. So phase one, now we've turned a $5,500 problem into a $4,000 problem. Awesome.
I mean, $3,000
Now,
problem.
how much?
Yeah, $3,000 problem.
Okay, so we have a $3,000 problem. And where is the buyer's agent on that? The buyer's agent is basically asking you to do what? To lower the price?
Well, he made the mistake of telling me that the buyer agreed to $2,500, so I think it's almost solved.
What do you mean the buyer agreed? It's your buyer.
He represents the buyer. I represent the seller.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so we have a $3,000 problem, and he said my buyer will come up $2,500 of the problem.
He told me that before I said we need it reviewed. So he's already told me that. But
Will your seller come down $500?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so I'd call the guy up and say, hey, send me if you send me an amendment to reduce the price by $2,500, I will beg and plead my client to work with us. Just put it in writing. Let me do my thing.
Because here's the question. This is why I think it's important to discuss the script. Very important to discuss the script, especially for newer agents or even me. They're bullying me by popping around all the emails, and I feel this is how I feel. I don't know that that's true. I feel like I'm getting pressured because they're like, let's just get this done. Let's just do this. Like, what's the deal? We got it 4,000 apart. What's the problem?
Who's saying that?
The lender.
What's the lender got to do with this? The lender shouldn't even be in the chat.
I contacted him because it didn't appraise. And I said, that's not going to work. Because I knew that
the lender needs to take a step away. We're not dealing with you yet, lender. This is a buyer and seller discussion.
But
if the lender wants the problem to, quote, go away, then he can cough up the money. If he ain't going to cough up the money, then get out of here. You're not involved in this discussion.
Okay, so that's what I need to say. That's my question is like, I think
so just ignore the lender and deal directly with the buyer and the buyer's agent, or really the buyer's agent. And get the guy on the telephone. Say, hey, I see all the back and forth. There's a lot of parties that are involved here. It's me and you that are going to sort this out. Okay. It's going to be me representing my person, you representing your person. It looks like we have a $3,000 problem. Is that correct?
Okay.
Okay. So how would you like to solve this? What is your proposal?
My proposal is the client pays.
No. I'm not asking you what yours is. I'm pretending like I'm you talking to the other agent. Because if you say, how would you like to solve this? Or you might say, do you have any ideas on how we might solve this?
No, I like what you said. How what'd you say first?
How would you like to solve this?
Yes, that is so good. How would you like to solve
this? They may come back and say, well, I guess we'll come up with the 3,000. I mean, well, boom, you just saved your client money. Right?
Well,
at the very least, it's vague enough for the guy to say something you probably shouldn't say.
You're right, Bill. That's so smart. Yes.
You say, how would you like to resolve this? So that presupposes that there is a resolution.
And it's his problem to figure it out.
It also shows them that you're more than welcome, more than willing to have a dialogue around it. So how would you like to solve this? And he might say, well, we're not doing anything. Say, well, send me over an amendment that basically says that you'd like us to reduce the price by $3,000, and I'll see what I can do. Right? Don't fight them.
I see. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Don't fight them.
Yes.
Just say, hey, send it over. Send over what you're asking for, right? But if he then comes back and says, well, gosh, we got a $3,000 issue. I think my client will do $2,500. Do you think your client will do $500? Say, gosh, I don't know. I'll have to take it to him. It was a bit challenging to get him to where we are now. Let me see if I can do that. Right.
That's brilliant.
Right? And then you go back to your seller and say, all right, we got 2,500. Can you cough up the other 500? Let's go to the closing table. It's all in the presentation, right? So you leave it open because you may end up getting more than you expected, right? And then get them to put it in writing.
Especially when it says amendment to address concerns number 1. Then he's expecting a counter, right?
Well, you do have that is an interesting thought there, but you do have to label it 1 anyway. So
no, not when he puts it on the save thing. like on the way that you save it in your file, that's a telltale sign that he's knows there's going to be another one.
Okay, so let's treat it like that's the truth, right? And basically, you guys can't leave. You can just make it easier for them to leave, right? Are they going to kill this deal over $500? No way. How much is the home?
264.5.
Nobody's leaving a deal over $5,000. You think that buyer's agent wants to put that buyer back in the car and start all this crap over again?
No, because
Not a
he's been in the
chance.
car with him for 2 years. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my God. So that's another something they shouldn't have told you,
Oh yeah.
right? You quiet up, you'll find out everything in the world, right? So you say, hey, looks like we got a $3,000 problem. How would you like to resolve this?
That is such a good way to say it.
And then you stop talking. Stop talking. No more talking.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
And then they come back and say, I guess that's all we can get. Say, great, send over the amendment. Just with the new sales price that's been, or would there be a new sales price in that situation? No, there wouldn't be. So just, okay, sounds like we've resolved that. Thank you very much. See you at closing. By the way, we're at 2 o'clock for closing, right? You just move on. You've moved on.
That's so good, Bill.
You solved it.
So good. Yep.
Once you've solved it, move on. Even if you know damn well the closing's at 2 o'clock. Say closing's at 2, right?
Well, and it's good, like what you said about ask a question too, like how should we solve this, and then pause. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right. Because that puts you in control.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he gets all worked up or she gets all worked up about it, just say, hey, just tell me what you guys want. Just ask for what you want. Like, I'm not the one making the decision here. Just tell me what you want. That's not saying that my guy will do anything you ask for. That's just saying, just tell me what you're looking for. Let's make this problem go away.
That's really smart. Okay, thanks.
And by the way, you don't need to respond to their request in 3 minutes.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
Right? So even if your buyer, or I'm sorry, even if your seller would happily agree to meet in the middle or whatever, does that mean you need to autograph that thing within the millisecond that it was sent over? No. No. Say, look,
Yeah, another question I could
my
say.
client needs to sleep on it. My client needs to sleep on it. Let's see how he feels in the morning.
I'm writing that down. That down. Let me write that down. That is so good.
You see what I'm saying? Play with them a little bit, man. This business is supposed to be fun. Let's play with people a little bit.
That's so good. Oh my gosh. Yep. That's good.
I literally wish I had what would Bill say bobblehead doll, and when I press down on it, like it just gives me the right answer.
You will start to think like him. I swear, Ebony, you'll be like, you will find yourself in conversations and you will literally sound like him. I'm telling you, like what you just said about how should we solve this? Like that needs to be, Ebony, that needs to be one of your things that you always say is like, how should we solve this? It just sounds so that you know what you're doing way more than anybody else if you talk like that. Like, how should we solve this? How do you suggest we solve this?
Right. And it's kind of calming, right? Mm-hmm. So that's an example of what you might say to another agent, but you could also say that to your client.
Yep.
Right. How could we solve this? Right. What ideas do you have? You know what I'm saying?
And then like you said, say, great. What did you say? Great. Let my client think on it.
Yeah. Well, just send it over and I'll chat with my client about it. You know, I know that they have a commitment tonight, so it might be in the morning before they get back to you. Like, you know,
he may want to sleep on it. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, truthfully, the bottom line truth is I want to sleep. I don't want to be up for the next 2 hours sorting this crap out. It's nighttime. This is family time.
Smoking mirrors. Mm-hmm.
It's not, I mean, people could think that, but at the end of the day, like, people would say, well, when should I put the expiration date of the offer? When should I put the expiration date of the highest and best? I don't know. Let's try when it's convenient for you.
4 o'clock.
Right? It's not going to be dinner time on a Friday night. I'm busy. I know I know I have a tendency to come off really blunt sometimes. But guys, this is about a life worth living. The vast
somebody
majority
has
of the
to take
time that you
control.
get stressed, it's because you're putting some false deadline on your activities.
And somebody has to be in control of the whole thing, you know.
Yeah, it may as well be you.
May as well be me.
It may as well be me if it's my deal, you if it's your deal, right?
Right.
We've said before, the best agent does more than their share of the work.
Yeah, that's for
Guys,
sure true. That's good to
100%
know.
of the people that are on this call need to understand that. Okay, there is an incredibly high likelihood you will be the best agent in the transaction. Go ahead and get comfortable with the fact that you're going to do more than 50% of the work. And when you do that, you will be in more control. And that is worth its weight in gold. Okay, so does that answer that conversation?
Yes. But you also don't want to make the other agent look bad. You want to help them look good too, because then they like you and then they, you know, want to work with you and things like that.
Well, that can be done after the contract's signed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. My first priority is to get my client what they deserve. My second priority is to make the other agent look good.
Right.
So
absolutely.
I might get the best of the other agent in every single turn, but at the closing table, I would say to the buyer, if I was on the seller side, I'd say, you know, you got a great agent. They were sharp. They did a great job. She represented you really well. She was really punctual. She took her responsibility seriously. Like she did a great job. You're lucky to have her. Right. And that makes the other party feel real good, and it makes the other agent feel real good.
That's good advice. Mm-hmm.
Right. Pay them a compliment, but you'll get the compliment at the end. Okay. In the middle, I'm going to try to eat you alive every single time.
I believe it.
Okay. What other questions do we have? The more you guys say these scripts, the easier they will seem. Okay.
I went for 10 years, y'all. I wouldn't do a script for 10 years. For 10 years.
Well, if I could correct you, Jenny, you were doing a script. You were saying the same thing over and over again.
I was running that mouth
The difference was what you were saying was not written by psychiatrists and psychiatry, or it wasn't based in psychology and behavioral patterns and language patterns. It was just whatever was flying out of your mouth at the moment.
Well, that's true. And you know, the other thing is I was so before COVID, the scripts were a little rigid. Now, since COVID, you know, Keller Williams and folks have been doing scripts a little bit more, you know, gentle, I think. And they sound more like what I would say. Like they're not like, hello, and how are you today? You know, blah, blah, blah. Who do you know that needs to buy or sell a home? You know, that to me, I'm not good at that, but I am good at saying, hey, it's Jenny. I hadn't talked to you in a while. I was just calling to check in on you. That's much more real. And that's what the COVID scripts are.
Right. A script is essentially just it's like an agenda for the call, right? It's like, first we're going to talk about this. The next thing we're going to talk about is your family and your job and your hobbies and your goals. The next phase of the conversation is when you do the right thing and you ask me all of those questions. And then the next phase, which has already been predetermined and written out, is when I go in for the close, right? Or I expose what I was calling about in the first place. Right?
Yes.
I happen to be working with a super sweet couple that wants to move to Roswell. Can't find a home that's on the open market right now. I don't know if you're thinking about selling your home, but is there anyone that you know that might be? Oh, well, do you work in Tucker? Because I have a friend that wants to sell their home in Tucker. Yeah, absolutely. I work in Tucker. Well, do you know the neighborhood really well? I'm familiar with Tucker. I've been there a handful of times. I've helped buyers, and my team has helped buyers and sellers in Tucker before. They're not asking you to report your stats. They're just that's just the gut reaction when somebody says that. It's like when we go into the store and the sales clerk says, "Can I help you with something?" You say no. Why are you there? You're there to buy something. What do you mean you can't help me? It's just like, give me some space. I'm here to make my own decisions at my own pace. See what I'm saying? Guys, you just have to understand how to talk to people. That's all there is. Connect with them. Find out what you guys got in common. Compliment them, right? Ask vague questions. Repeat what they say back, right? So you're moving to Chicago. Oh, great. When do you want to be in Chicago? When would you like to be in Chicago by? I'd like to be in Chicago by November. Okay, great. So you're in Chicago in November. What does that mean to you and your family? Right? Rather than saying, what does that mean to you and your family? You say, so in November, you're in Chicago. It's what's called future pacing, right? You're getting to actually conceptualize and visualize themselves being in Chicago in November.
Wait, what is that called?
And
Future
pacing.
Okay.
And as they future pace it, they're actually hearing your voice. So their brain connects the two. Okay. This business is all about the brain. That's all it is to it. I could teach you how to sell homes in 5 minutes. Everything else is the brain. Y'all see that?
Yes, and I didn't
I mean,
know
I
that going
have
into
clients
it.
that I could tell clients that 2 + 2 is 5 and they would believe me. Right? They're like, shit, I thought it was 4, but God, Bill's saying it's 5. Maybe it is 5. All right. Was this helpful, guys?
It was. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. What was I going to say? There are a couple of you, I won't name any names, that are behind in reporting their numbers. If you guys could catch up, that would be fabulous. And please, Ginny, we have an 11 o'clock Wednesday with the growth group. If you could make sure you were there, that'd be fabulous. And I actually have a few questions for you. So let's chat a little bit later today, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the best, I've been in coaching calls all day long. Best line of the day. Are you giving them your time or your best? Man, I gotta frame that. Good job.
Am I being quoted? I feel so honored.
I like that.
Well,
I wrote it down.
That's the
It's going
first
on my
time.
vision
You're
board.
gonna be quoted a lot more than that. All right, Ebony. Do not answer the phone the rest of the day. Got it?
All right. All right. All right.
Okay.
Oh my God, Ebony, I'm
All
so
right.
sorry. That's so hard.
I'm going to be fine. It's not that much longer.
Let me tell you something. You're going to be awesome. You gotta, one real quick thing. Andy talked about gamifying stuff that's hard. That's hard for us to do, or like if we have too many irons in the fire or whatever. He talked about gamifying stuff where you make it a game. So like, I don't know, you do something in an hour. So like you keep things all in one, make it a game. I thought that was so smart.
Okay.
Yeah. See how many people can hang up on you in one day.
No. Oh, I would crumble, Bill. I would crumble.
Instead of counting your yeses, count your nos.
No, that's terrible advice. I can't do that.
All right. Next, you're going to be the one we experiment with next time, Jenny.
I'm terrified. I can't do it. I don't hurt my feelings.
All right. Y'all go have some fun. This business is supposed to be fun, Laugh a little bit.
All right.
Okay.
All right. See y'all.
All right. Bye.